All right, can brothers hear me? All right, let me know how the sound is. Right, no sound. Right, is the sound still out? Right, let me know if you can hear me. Sound is good now. All right, all praises. All praise how about Shemi Abshai. Again, so finishing up the salute, shalom to all of the sisters out there, holding down in the households, reverencing the husbands, being submissive and diligent, and moving in the spirit of our righteous forefather, shalom, shalom. Shalom to everybody tuning in live. HBK Int, Gene Coriolis, right? Salak if I mispronounce anyone's name. King Trey, Said Israel, Jackson Williams, Princess Israel from Egypt to Israel, HBK Int, King Trey, Second Ezra chapter 654 through 59, 3D Sounds, and Lion of Judah, and everybody else, John, everybody else tuning in that will tune in. All praise to Yahweh Shemi Abashai. From the brother DM, real quick, very quickly. It's the Cold Cuts channel down. Yes, the Cold Cuts channel is down. Right, the Cold Cuts channel is down. It's down for 2 weeks. Due to Esau's, of course, devices. So that Cold Cut channel is down for 2 weeks. So, look out for brothers going up back on the WFI backup channel, and as well as you may see more IG lives within these 2 weeks. We appealed it. Most are willing. The appeal goes through, which worked maybe 1 or 2 times in time past. So most are willing. The Lord put the spirit put the spirit out there for this Cold Cut channel to come back up and running, man. Right, but we still have the backup edification or the backup channel for edification. The word is still going to go out. Right, the word is still going to go out. And it's not a damn thing Esau or his wicked misinformation and devices could do about it, man. Right? Now, the topic of this Cold Cut is sifting season is upon us. Right? Blood, moons, and signs of the times. Right? Sifting season is upon us. Blood, moon, and signs of the times. Now, I wanted to go deep into history today. I wanted to go into, some chronology dealing with the empires of Babylon and the similarity. It's lucky for the voice. Had lost my voice teaching yesterday, so bear with me as I try to endure. But I want to go into prophecy and go into some history as well. But the spirit suffered me not, and the spirit rather had me go into this. So the Lord said, there is no man that hath power over the spirit to retain the spirit. Right? Now that the power in the day of death. So let's go to Luke chapter 22 and 31. Meaning when the Most High put his spirit on you to be able to, read, study, teach, or if the Most High want to take his spirit from you and you wax worse or you fall out the truth, that's all according to Yahweh Shemi Abashai. And being in the days that we're living in with great judgment on the earth, you have this great sifting season, huh? Right? Most High willing, brothers and sisters, they had a mighty nationwide fast. They participated. They forsook that old man. They forsook that old woman. They're not returning back to their vomit and returning back to the darkness that they once came out of, and that you're moving closer to the light of Yahweh Shemi Abashai. And as we approach these last days, Satan, like we always say, he's working extremely hard, man. He's working overtime. Satan doesn't take days off. You understand? Everything requires rest. You understand the trees, they require rest. You have a land Sabbath, right? Every 7 years. We have a weekly Sabbath. Your car can't run 24/7. It needs to rest. Your beasts, your animals, you can burn them out. Your animals have to rest on the Sabbath. But guess what? Satan doesn't have to rest, man. Satan is not bound by what man is bound by, man. He's a spirit. So he doesn't take days off. It's not like, okay, it's the Sabbath. Okay, Satan is up there getting and studying it. Satan doesn't study this. He doesn't study the scriptures, man. I don't know if anybody told you, but he's not up there studying breakdowns, man, and trying to figure out different ways to get man to fall. All that stuff has been programmed inside the spiritual demon Satan from the beginning. And his job is to sift you out, meaning get rid of you, man. Right? Luke 22 and 31. And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan hath desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. So a lot of brothers, you're in Satan's crosshairs. He's aiming like that red dot from that rifle, that sniper rifle. That red dot's aimed right at your chest, man. And Satan has that red dot right at you. And he's just waiting for the wind speed to go down to pull the trigger. He's waiting on that right time, man, for the person to move out the way. And he's ready to aim, pull, and fire. To get rid of brothers because brothers are lukewarm. To get rid of sisters because sisters are lukewarm. To get rid of brothers because brothers don't read. Brothers don't study. Brothers don't fast. Sisters are rebelling against their husbands. They're going off and doing God knows what, man. So the Most High, he'll send a spiritual demon Satan against you, right? And Satan, when Satan comes, he comes to think about the spiritual demon Satan, which we're going to talk about, right? He'll transform himself and disguise himself into different devices. So you can be on the verge of being sifted out, and Satan is using a woman to do it. Or you could be on the verge of being sifted out, and Satan is using your job, or Satan is using your drive to buy a new car, or your drive to buy a new house, or your children's sports activities, or whatever the case may be, right? Satan will use these different devices and camouflage things that may seem like they're righteous or things that you want to do. But a good way to recognize Satan is to know if it's pulling you away from the Most High, then it's not of the Lord, man. And brothers fail to realize when they're being pulled away from this truth, man. Like I said, you might meet a woman, you know, and she might slowly require your time more and more and more and more. And it becomes when you're not reading, you're neglecting the scriptures and you're not praying. And that's Satan, man. Now you can say, well, hold on, she said shalom. How could that be Satan? Well, brother, Satan he's not popping up like Christianity, man. Right? You type in Satan, that's what we get. Right? This is what we get according to the world, man. This is what people expect. This is why people getting sifted out. We tell them about Satan, and they're looking for this guy, man. You know? Well, I didn't see Satan. He didn't pop up on me like that. Whew. I keep hearing about this demon Satan. Well, he's not going to look like this. Right? There's no account of a physical description being a Satan, man. Now, all of the hosted angels, they look like Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So Satan doesn't look like a so-called red man. Well, horns. Satan will pop up and look like and be in the image of what you least expect. Yeah, this is not Satan right here. Right? Neither is this Satan, man. So a lot of you brothers, you think that you've never encountered Satan, or you're never going to experience Satan because he looks like this. And you just think that you'll know him and you'll recognize him so easily. But little did you know, brother, that Satan can hop on you, rather again through a job, through a relationship, through a hobby, through a pastime, it could just be demons on you. You can become slothful, right? You can become waxing worse, lackadaisical, right? It might be anger. Satan could just dwell in you, right? Like the Lord said in 2 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 3. I'm going to start at 1. Would to God ye could bear with me a little in my folly, and indeed bear with me, for I am jealous over you with godly jealousy, for I have espoused you to one husband, that I may present you as a chaste virgin to Hamashiach. Right? So the Apostle Paul, his job is to make sure the church of Corinth is presented to its perfection in the day of the Lord. But I fear lest by any means, as the serpent beguiled Eve through his subtlety, so your minds should be corrupted from the simplicity that is in Hamashiach Yahushua. Now the Lord said Eve was beguiled through subtlety. Now let's get this word subtlety. And this is how brothers are being beguiled, man. Because again, Satan doesn't come out bold, kicking doors down, saying, hey, I'm the spiritual demon Satan. Right? Are you ready to get sifted out? No, here's the Greek word for subtlety. Let's play this.
Strong's G 3834. Anorgia. Anorgia.
Right, Salaki. Right? Now the Lord said panorgia. Well, the blue letter, right? Craftiness, cunning, a speculaous or false wisdom, right? In a good sense, prudent, skill, and undertaking or carrying on affairs. Now, the part we want to deal with is craftiness and cunning. So Satan, he'll come up and he'll beguile you, man. You know, a lot of brothers, they think that how they're moving, like the Lord said, every way and a man's eyes are pure, but the Lord weareth the spirits. So man may justify the things that they do, and they fail to realize that it's nothing but a trap. It's nothing but a snare, man. And when that snare falls upon you, end up being too late. And next thing you know, you're out the truth, and you have a reprobate mind because you didn't recognize Satan's devices. Right? This is 2 Corinthians, it's like Ecclesiastes chapter 9, right, and 12. It reads, "For a man also knoweth not his time, as the fishes that are taken in an evil net, and as the birds that are caught in the snare, so are the sons of men snared in an evil time, when it falleth suddenly upon them." So the same way that fishes who go about their day, they are beguiled through the worm on the hook, man, or whatever bait that you want to use. And then their lack of discernment and ability to realize it being a trap, they're snared up out of the water when they least expect it. Fishes don't wake up and say, I think I want to hop on a boat today. I want to feel like what being out the water will finally be like. What would it be like to be on somebody's plate? And they're not thinking like that, man. I can't wait to be eaten. No, that they don't know when they're going to be taken in the evil net due to the lack of discernment and the lack of circumspection, man. And as the birds that are caught in the snare, birds don't know when they're going to be caught in the trap. People lay those bird traps out there, and the bird thinks, okay, there's worms, okay, there's food, let bread there, let me go down and land and eat. And they fall into a trap due to a lack of circumspection, right? A lack of observing the time, just being unaware and not having your discernment up. And the Lord compares that life to the life of a man. So are the sons of men snared in an evil time when it falleth suddenly upon them. So man has to be able to recognize the devices that are presented to them by the spiritual demon Satan. Right? I believe the Lord said that you walk upon the battlements of the city. Right? I want to get that precept in Ecclesiasticus. I'll just read it. Right? This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 9 and 13. I'll pull it up on the screen. Right? Let's pull this up. So brothers have to pray for discernment. You have to pray that the Most High increases your ability to recognize the devices of the spiritual demon Satan to prevent you from being sifted out, man. Right? This is spiritual warfare. You have to know the tactics of your opposition, of the opposing army. Otherwise, you are going to be defeated, man. And brothers don't pray for discernment enough, or sisters, and that's why you're falling out the truth. That's why you're waxing worse. That's why you barely study. Somebody has to damn near fight you to get you to read 3 chapters. You don't watch the videos like you used to, and you're just slowly falling away, man. You used to be diligent, and now you're not even diligent anymore. You used to, say, okay, I'm going to read 5 chapters today. I'm going to do A, B, and C. But now you're just outright just being a worldly man all over again, man. You're taking pleasures in sin. You're taking pleasures in iniquity. You don't even think about the precepts anymore. All you do is think about your job, or think about some woman you're dealing with. You think about clothes, right? You're just thinking about folly, man. And you're not recognizing the snares and the traps. This is Sirach 9 and 13. Keep thee far from the man that hath power to kill. So shalt thou not doubt the fear of death. And if thou come unto him, make no fault, lest he take away thy life presently. remember that thou goest in the midst of snares, and that thou walkest upon the battlements of the city. Now, in one context, this man could be any man. It could be a violent man, a man that hates you. It could be the so-called white man. Modern day, it could be the police. It could be anything. But the Lord said, keep thee far from the man that hath power to kill. Right? So shalt thou not doubt the fear of death. And if thou come unto him, make no fault. So in his truth, the Lord is expecting man not to make no fault, man, to be perfect. Now, if you make a fault, it says, lest he take away thy life presently. You could be in this truth, be alive, have understanding. You make one fault and it's over, man. This is a dangerous, the Lord said that we walk in between fire and water, paraphrasing, and a dangerous place to fall. And you have to be able to recognize these snares and traps when they present it to you, man. The Lord said, remember that thou goest in the midst of snares. And this society is already set up to get you to sin, right? You even have subliminal messages, calling upon you while you're watching TV, or, while you're on your phone and listening to your conversations, and ads are popping up, and a damn naked woman to pop up out of nowhere, right? A spirit may hop on somebody. So you walk upon the midst of snares in this truth, huh? And you have to have your guard up when you're walking around. Right? Okay, look, I know Satan could try to hop on me today. Let me examine the matter. You have to think like that. And that thou walkest upon the battlements of the city. Right? Let's go back to Luke. Luke 22:31. And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan hath desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. But I have prayed for thee, that thy faith fail not, and when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren. So Yahushua prayed for the apostle Peter that he doesn't fail, right? You don't want your faith to fail in this thing. And when your faith fails, that's when Satan can get you. So Yahushua didn't pray for Peter to have all of the breakdowns when Satan was coming at him. All right, give Peter all of the precepts. He said, pray that his faith doesn't fail, that thy faith fail not. And a lot of brothers, you get sifted out because your faith fails, man. You stop really believing in this truth, and you stop really thinking about being delivered. You used to think about the chariots and meditate on salvation. Now you don't even think about that anymore, man. You just get up, you go to work, you go home, and you just keep going about your daily activities, and you put your heart into something else. Your heart used to be into this truth. You used to eat, breathe, and sleep this truth, and now your heart isn't even in it anymore, man. You have brothers, they barely come to camp. Sisters, they barely read anymore. You're not in this thing, man. That's your faith failing. Because guess what? Your faith is always what? Proven by your works. And you can know if a brother's faith is failing based off of his works, man. Let's get the classic, right? The classic James chapter 2, right? Every brother knows what I'm about to go to, most brothers, right? James chapter 2 and 17. Even so, faith, if it hath not works, is dead being alone. Yeah, man may say, thou hast faith and I have works. Show me thy faith without thy works, and I will show thee my faith by my works. You see that? So you have to show how much you believe by your works, man. And the ability, or the fact of the matter is that when your faith fails, your works also fail. You can see when a brother's faith is failing. You can see when Satan is about to happen because his works fail. They go hand in hand. Faith and works literally go hand in hand. And a clear indicator that a sister and a brother's about to fall out, just look at their works, man. Like I said, I gave you a few examples, right? They barely read anymore. Works, that's works, man. They used to give alms and charity. They don't give alms and charity. They used to study for about hours. Now they don't even study. They used to have a notebook full of notes and precepts, and now they lost it. And they don't even care to find it. They used to order highlighters and highlight in their Bible, and they don't even know where their highlighters are anymore. They're somewhere in their house, wrapped up in the box somewhere, man, or under the couch. Their faith is beginning to fail. They used to get up first thing in the morning to pray. Now they barely pray. They get on their phone for about an hour. Then they might pray over their food. And you can see someone slowly being sifted out. And you have to examine yourself and ask yourself, is that you? Are you who I'm speaking about, man? Right? Are you the one about to be sifted out? Are you the one whose faith is actually failing? Right? You don't want your faith to fail, because once your faith fell and flatline, that's it, man. Right? Let's go to 1 Peter chapter 5. All right, let's go to 1 Peter chapter 5. And let's read verse 8. Right? This is 1 Peter 5 and 8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. So brothers have to be sober-minded in this thing, meaning have what? Temperance, control. Be vigilant. Being vigilant meaning you're on the offensive, right? Like a vigilante, they go and they stop crime, but even before the police show up, they'll buy police scanners and the radio, and they'll be in a car or in their house, man, in the basement somewhere, listening to a bank robbery or listening to an assault or a battery or a grand theft auto, and they'll hop in their car. They'll take that nasty little one police siren thing, they'll put it on top of their car, and they'll pretend that they're the police, man, and they'll go fight crime and they'll arrest guys and, you know, do things, man. So you want to be vigilant. You want to be on the offensive, aware, like a vigilante. And you crush Satan before he even crushes you, man. And a lot of brothers, you're not vigilant. You just let Satan beat you up. That's like when you go to war, you just stand there. Okay, all right, guys, get ready. You just hold the line. And you just let the army rush you, man, instead of rushing the army. You got to rush the spiritual demon Satan, man. You have to take offensive measures to be able to mitigate what he's coming at you with, man. Like what? Fasting, that's being vigilant. Consistent in prayer and constant in prayer without ceasing, that's being vigilant. Taking that extra time to read those extra chapters, that's being vigilant. Meditating, that's being vigilant. Meditating the word. Congregating with like-minded brothers and sisters, that's being vigilant. These are the things that you have to do to be able to prevent. These are preventative measures from to stop the spiritual demon Satan from sifting you out, man. See, a lot of brothers, you wait till it's too late. You wait till you have these demons on you. Now you want to go on a fast. Right? Or you wait. That's like people, you wait till you're sick and then you want to finally pray for health, or you finally want to take herbs, or there are certain things that you do to prevent sicknesses, to prevent you from feeling slothful, to prevent you from being obese, or to prevent you from having a heart disease. If you do these things now, even if it does affect you, your body handle it in a more efficient manner, man. Like people that get sick, if you take your herbs and you work out, you walk, you stretch, you know, you get your blood flowing, your diet is right, so you don't have to worry about being sick. You don't have to worry about these ailments. And even if you are sick and you have these ailments, it's not going to have much of an effect on you, man, because you were vigilant in your diet and you were vigilant and keeping your body taken care of. And brothers have to think about that spiritually, man. You're letting these demons just have a hold on you, man, because you're not being vigilant in terms of stopping this before it becomes a problem. And the Lord is telling you to do this because your adversary, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. You know? And when you see roaring lions, a vigilant man, hey, he's going to build a tent. He's going to escape. He's going to arm himself with a weapon. He's going to take his sword out if he has to slay that lion. Daniel slew a lion, man. I mean, it's like your David. You know? Satan is out here, man. It doesn't say Satan is just taking days off. He walks about. He could be knocking out your door right now, man. Your front door, ready to come in and hop on you, man, and make you say, why don't you just buy something on the Sabbath? Why don't you just go hit up your old woman, right? Your ex-demon. Keisha from the world. Dejanique, man. Latoya. Satan had you damn thinking about what you how so-called fun you had when you was in the world. These memories. Satan could operate many ways, man. Have you sitting there just thinking about what life was in the world, how you're missing out. And he doesn't take days off. He's literally seeking whom he may devour. Right? And lions devour, like we always say, the weak prey. They're going to devour you if you're lagging behind. Go watch the Animal Planet, man, or that Planet Earth thing. You know, turn on the Discovery Channel one day, man. Or type in YouTube and watch these lionesses and these lions hunt, man. These tigers, these bears. They always they pay attention to who's weak. They see you with that little limp in the back. They're watching you. When all of the gazelles go to the river to drink the water, and they're all drinking the water, and all of the buffaloes, they're down there doing their thing, and then 24 buffaloes, they damn leave, and there's one buffalo left, but he's still drinking the water. They're watching that guy, man. Oh, he's by himself. He's separated himself. He's not paying attention. Then that buffalo lift up his head, and all of the rest of the buffaloes left, man. And that's when that lion gets on him. Now, he might get away. I've seen videos, lions kind of attack a bison or whatever, or a zebra, and a zebra kind of get away. The other zebras come and they help out or whatever. They kind of get in the lion. But, hey, guess what? That zebra's limping now, man. And now he's falling behind, and he's going to bleed out. And some brothers, you get attacked by the spiritual demon Satan, you don't recover, you just bleed out, and you fall behind. And you become prey to the top predator in the spirit world, man. Right? Let's go to Job, chapter 2 and 1. Right? Job, chapter 2. Actually, yeah, Job, chapter 2 and 1. Right? Again, there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord. And Satan came also among them to present himself before the Lord. So Satan works directly for the spiritual demon Satan. And a lot of brothers, like I said, they think Satan rests on the Sabbath. Okay, it's Satan, it's a Sabbath day. Oh, boy, I'm glad I'm relieved. I don't have to worry about anything anymore. Oh, boy, man, I can just kick my feet up. I can just relax. And, oh, boy, I don't have to worry about Satan, man. It's the Shabbat. But no, that's not biblical, man. Right? Salakia. That's nowhere close to being biblical. There's no kicking your feet up and stretching because Satan is resting, man. He literally has to present himself before the Lord, meaning report to the Most High for duties. He receives instruction on who to sift out, who to tempt from the Most High. That's what Job is about, man. Or the beginning of Job, it's about Satan reporting to the Most High and receiving orders, as a servant does from his master, as a prince does from his king. And the Lord said unto Satan, from whence comest thou? And meaning, where are you coming from? And Satan, he has to answer. He can't say, man, shut up, man. I'm here to take over the throne, right? I'm here to usurp authority. I think you've been ruling long enough, Lord. I think it's finally that you give me a chance. No, he reports and answers to the Most High, right? And Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth and from walking up and down in it. Now, when he's going to and fro in the earth, he's not handing out lollipops and marshmallows. He's not handing out damn daffodils, man. Neither is Satan going around giving you video games. When he's going to and fro on the earth, he's putting demons on people, man. He's making you fall asleep while you're reading. He's putting that spirit on your woman to vex the hell out of you, on your children to start crying as soon as you begin to start studying, on your job to tempt you, man. Let's say we're here to give you a $10 raise. Just come in on a Sabbath once a month. It's not that long. You'll be in and you'll be out. And we'll give you triple time pay. Yeah, you make $25 an hour, but guess what? Or if you come in one Sabbath a month, That's 75 an hour. You only have to stay for 4 hours. That's Satan right there, man. It's really not that bad. Satan might say, hop on them and say, look, don't forget you're under grace. You know? Anytime a so-called supervisor says, yeah, you can work on the Sabbath, and then they follow that word and say, yeah, but remember, you have grace. If you don't recognize that's the spiritual demon Satan, then your mind is bad. What does he know about grace? Yeah, you get your 75 an hour, but remember Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, and he said the name of the Lord. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, he gives you mercy. And the Lord said, and he started pulling these precepts. And the Lord said, use the world and not abuse it. Then he backed it up, 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and 31. And he might pull 1 Timothy 5 and 8. For man provide not for his house. He's an infidel. He's bringing out all these precepts to get you to break the Sabbath. And you start thinking, yeah, well, I don't want to be an infidel. Yeah, well, maybe Esau, maybe you're right. And he says, yeah, maybe I am. And then you stop coming to camp and you start scanning your badge and freaking off on the Sabbath, man. And then once you clock out, Esau say, hey, look, sorry, we're going to have to let you go. Right? It's not working out for us. I'm sorry, you're a great guy. I wish you the best. You have a beautiful family. I want nothing but the best from you. We hate to lose you, but we want you to succeed elsewhere. And then you get fired, man. So you done broke the Sabbath for $75 an hour for 4 hours, for $300 just to get fired and sin against the Most High and then be put to death. So Satan's going to and fro, man. Like I said, Satan hop on you, a woman you used to deal with, man. So you dealt with them, Keisha. Now Keisha, that was your damn high school sweetheart or your college, whatever, man. And now Keisha, she moves next door to you. Here you are, you're married, you got your family, but Keisha, they bought the house next door. And she's single. And she sees you with your fridges on and says, hey, I've always heard about that Hebrew Israelite thing. All right, do you have a minute to show me a precept? And then she says, well, look, you're commanded to teach. She starts saying, look, you have to teach. Then the Lord say, feed the flock. Are you a real man of the Lord? She might ask, are you a real man of the Lord? He'll just come in for a minute. I'm just getting dinner ready. I'll make you a plate, man. And she started telling you all your favorites that you used to like when you was dealing with her in the world, man. She made your favorite damn dessert or your damn food, man, your baked chicken or whatever you like. Next thing you know, you in there doing God knows what with Keisha, man. You went from studying to freaking off. You have to be able to recognize the spiritual demon Satan. And if you fail to recognize the spiritual demon Satan, you will be sifted out. You have to see what these strongholds are, man. And the Lord said in Sirach 37, right? Prove your soul and your life, man. You have to see and analyze how can you be beguiled and attacked by the spiritual demon Satan, man. See that the brother W5 Virginia Shalom said my boss told me her nephew's an Israelite, he works on a Sabbath, but he higher in rank. Well, that's because he's sinning against the Most High. Right? The sister said the most beautiful dresses pop up on her Facebook feed on a Sabbath. Tempting to click and add to my cart, but I don't. Any other day, I can't find the same dress. Yeah, that sounds like Satan. The best dresses pop up on the Sabbath, and you can't find them nowhere else. And that's how these deals be working, man. You might, I was leaving a plantation and we saw this kind of yard sale, and they had some things out there, man. They had some nice things, and we saw it and they was like, well, look, we're open a day and then a Sabbath. If you don't come tomorrow, because this was Friday. They said, if you don't come tomorrow, which is today, then it may not be there. What are you going to do? You know? And then they'll have all, look, it's real nice. Not attempting, it's real nice. You know, this is top line. It's never been used. Don't you want it? I mean, look at it. You could do this with it. You could do that with it. That's Satan, man. How do you know what I can do with it, man? And why are you right? As if you were in my house, man, knowing what I could do with it, with particular things. And you got to right. Look, that's Satan, and you got to kind of get out of there, man. Because next thing you know, you'll be up there in the morning grabbing that stuff, man, and saying, well, it's not that bad. It's lawful to do. Jake, you break the Sabbath, and you say it's lawful to do well on the Sabbath. Well, man, I'm just doing well. I'm just, you know, it's the Lord said, be not righteous over much. Then you end up falling out the truth, man. Sirach 37-27, right? My son, prove thy soul and thy life, and see what is evil for it, and give not slakia, and give not that unto it. So you have to see what's evil for you, man. Right? How is Satan going to attack you today? That's what you have to wake up and say, okay, well, how is Satan going to hop on me today? Is Satan going to tempt me and have somebody drive and cut me off in the middle of the road to make me get out the spirit? Or is Satan going to hop on my woman, man? You know, start an argument about a sock on the floor. You know, Satan going to hop on my children, man. How is Satan going to attack me today? And how can I prevent it? Okay, let me make sure I'm praying for discernment. Let me make sure I'm studying the scriptures. Let me make sure I'm fasting. I'm in the spirit. You know, this is the mentality that you have to have in these last days. So let's go back to Job chapter 2 and 3. And the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man, one that feareth the Most High and escheweth evil, and still he holdeth fast his integrity, although thou movest me against him to destroy him without cause. So the Lord said, hast thou considered my servant Job? And you can't read the book of Job thinking that, you know, this was a one-time deal. This was the only account of the Most High saying, have you considered my servant Job? No, this happens all the time. Right? This happens all the time. Even to this day, you never know. The Most High could be up there in the spirit world saying, hast thou, let's see who's on this live. Hast thou considered my servant, Lion of Judah? Hast thou considered my servant, King Trey, HBKN? Right? Princess 77, Mel J. Have you considered my servant? This can be happening right now in the spirit world, man. There is none like him or her in the earth. They keep the commandments. She has a head wrap on, dress on, fringes. This brother growing his beard out. He studies, he prays. There is none like him in the earth. Right? Now, what happened? I want to actually go back. I want to go back to the first chapter and see what goes down. Job chapter 1 and 9. Then Satan answered the Lord and said, doth Job fear God for naught? Hast thou not made a hedge about him and about his house and about all that he hath on every side? Thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land. But put forth thine hand now and touch all that he hath, he will curse thee to thy face. So he said, the only reason Job is serving you is because you give him blessings. If you take away the blessings, he'll curse you. Now, you could be the topic of discussion up in the spirit world, man. Hast thou considered my servant so-and-so? There is none like him on the earth that feareth God. Satan may say, well, yeah, like the sister said with the dresses, right? But guess what, man? If you tempt her on the Sabbath with dresses, she'll go off. She's not really righteous. This is what Satan is saying about you. Yeah, if you put a spirit, yeah, they're serving you now, but put a spirit on his children or his woman, right? And he'll be a lion in his house. Right? Plague his health, and he'll stop praying. Cut his phone off, evict him out of his house, and he'll stop believing. This is how Satan comes at you, man. Right? Put a beautiful woman of the world who's really a demon at his workplace to flirt with him, and he'll commit adultery. He'll curse you to your face. These are the conversations that take place in the third heaven. They're not up there talking about, they're not waging war against one another, which Christianity teaches. Satan is saying, well, look, this is how I can get this man to fall. The Lord said he's not going to fall. Satan says, bet, I'll go down there and see. So when you are getting tempted and these spirits are working against you, this very well may be from a conversation that the Most High had up in the spirit world with the spiritual demon Satan, man, about you. And you have to recognize that, man. Every brother and sister, you have to recognize the fact that these conversations take place every day regarding the Most High sheep. Have you considered my servant so-and-so? He serves you. Satan says, if I do A, B, and C, he'll fall. And you don't want the Most High, like the Most High, essentially, for lack of better terms, he's betting on you to be upright, man. Not that there's money involved, but he's pleading and saying, look, you're righteous. I know he can do it. And you're going to let the Most High down when you go off, when you give heed to the spiritual demon Satan, when you become a lion in your house, when you buy that dress on a Sabbath, when you go work on a Sabbath, when you don't want to put your fringes on because you're scared that people are going to say something. You give in to the spiritual demon Satan, man. Let's go to Matthew chapter 16. All right, brothers, you got to recognize this, man. And Satan works by little and by little. He'll slowly sift you out. He'll have you give all your hours and time to your job. And your job will be a hell of a job, man. You'll be making more money than ever before, right? You'll be able to spend and buy things that you couldn't afford before. You know, you'll be able to take your family out and, you know, do certain things. But now you notice that this job requires a lot of man hours. And brothers, I know brothers, one brother completely, he fell out, man. Right. And I used to talk to the brother, said, hey, Ak, you know, you're giving your strength into your job. Oh, my job, man, I have to do it. I don't know what I'm going to do. You know, am I going to be able to work? Right? Am I going to be able to work? Am I going to be able to provide for myself? My job, man, my job. Every Friday night, he's working on the Sabbath. Every Saturday, he's working on the Sabbath. I mean, you got to get another job. But I have this car. I have to do this. Brother, I said, cut down on your expenses. Life is going to have to change for you, but you got to be willing to sacrifice, man. You may have to live in a less nice place, right? Maybe a smaller place, rather. You know, you may not be able to drive your fancy car. You may have to get something else. But Jake, you're not willing to sacrifice, man. Oh, you know, I don't know, man. I got this big car and I live in this nice upscale. I have to keep my job. And the brother, we're asking the brother, where are you at? Well, you're not at camp. What's going on? I got to work. I have to work. Now the brother's job damn near sifted him out, man. And all he does is work on the Sabbath. Doesn't do anything else. Brother doesn't do the work. He used to be a powerful reader, powerful teacher. And now he's just crunching numbers for the so-called white man. You know? Because his job, right? And the cares of the world and the deceitfulness of riches, man. And this world is a demon, right? St. Matthew chapter 16 and verse 21. From that time forth began Yahushua to show unto his disciples how that he must go unto Jerusalem and suffer many things of the elders and chief priests and scribes and be killed and raised again the third day. Then Peter took him and began to rebuke him, saying, be it far from thee, Lord, this shall not be unto thee. And, you know, Yahushua, he didn't want to go. When you read Luke chapter 22, Matthew 26, Matthew 27, these different accounts, Mark, the 14th chapter, the 15th chapter, these various accounts, Yahushua, he was praying that the cup passed by him. He didn't want to deal with the crucifixion, right? He didn't want to deal with the death and the pain and the mocking and the scourging and the ridicule. That's something that in his spirit that he didn't necessarily want to deal with. So when Peter told him that you're not going to be killed, you don't have to be killed, right? You don't have to suffer these many things, right? this shall not be unto thee. You don't have to worry about that. Now, guess what? A normal man may say, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe if I just leave and go back, to Galilee, I'll be fine. I could just repent and this is the Most High, and I'll be fine. Or maybe I can just, be a carpenter. I don't have to go out there and teach. Yahushua could have gave in to Peter. Imagine somebody telling you got to die. Then another man says, look, you really don't have to die. And all you do is your whole life, you have to die. That's all you're thinking about, the pain and the suffering. And another man tells you, your best friend that you love so dearly, whose word you consider with a high regard, tells you in the midst of your stress, you don't have to deal with that, man. Why don't you just, do something else? Right? We're going to show you what Yahushua said. It reads, but he turned and said unto Peter, get thee behind me, Satan. Thou art an offense unto me, for thou savorest not the things that be of God, but those that be of men. See that? So Yahushua did something that a lot of men wouldn't have done. He was not only able to recognize Satan hopping on the Apostle Peter, but he was also able to rebuke him, And brothers have to have that discernment. You have to have that spirit, man. And you can't be ashamed to say, get thee behind me, Satan. A lot of you brothers here, oh, that's just my woman. She'll think I'm crazy if I say, get thee behind me, Satan. I'll just leave the room. And Satan is still there, man. You got these demons in your house, demons hopping on your kids. You got spirits on you trying to get you to do things, and you're scared to say, get thee behind me, Satan, because it sounds weird, or you're too cool. You're too cool to say that. You don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. And that's why these demons are just whooping your ass, man, for lack of better terms. I mean, they're just having their way with you. They have you in a spiritual chokehold and you're tapping out. Don't be ashamed to say, get thee behind me, Satan, man. Rather, a lust spirit try to hop on you, an envy spirit, a spirit to be a lion in your house, a evil spirit for you to be an ostrich in your house, man. You want to damn speak up against your husband and go against the grain. You have to rebuke that demon, man, and say, get thee behind me, Satan. Thou art an offense unto me, for thou savorest not the things that be of the Most High, but those that be of men. And again, that's a clear indicator what's of Satan. If it's not of God and it's of man, anything that be of men is of Satan. Like we brought out last night in Luke 16:15, that which is highly esteemed amongst men is an abomination in the sight of the Most High. Anything of God is going to be of righteousness. Anything of man is going to be about what you want to do. So you trying to figure out, well, how do I know when Satan is attacking me? Or is it of man or is it of God? Is this something that a mortal man would do? Or is it something the Most High would do, man? Is it of righteousness or is it of wickedness? Is it of the flesh and carnal or is it of the spirit, man? You have to ask these things, right? Let's go to 2 Corinthians chapter 2, right? 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11. It reads, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So you have to know the spirit. You have to know his devices. If you don't know his devices, he'll destroy you and you will be back in the world. I guarantee you'll be back in the world smoking a blunt, right? Or you'll be back in the world being a whore or whatever you was doing in this truth. If you was into basketball, you'll be watching basketball and you'll be breaking the Sabbath to go to the court. If you was a woman and you was into weave and going to the club and smoking a hookah and getting drunk, you'll be doing that, man. If you don't take the right now, the here and now, and today to study and recognize the devices of the spiritual demon Satan, you will be out this thing. Rather it's today or rather it's next week or rather it's during the time of Jacob's trouble and Satan tempts you with money or, whatever, man. You have to know his devices. right? And the Apostle Paul told this to the church in Corinth because they had a brother that they were charged to forgive, man. And if they didn't forgive this brother, it would be a clear sign that Satan is working in their mind to make them hold a grudge and make them say it's too hard for me to forgive, and I'm so right, and he should forgive me. So you definitely want to recognize Satan's devices as he presents himself before you, man. Right? Let's go to the book of John, the 12th chapter. Right? So you brothers ask yourself or consider that you may be sifted out. The Lord don't have to keep you in his truth just because you like the fringes or you watched 1,000 videos. You know, that this truth is manifold, man. And, you know, the Lord only gives you so much time to get right. That's Luke chapter 13. Let me get that real quick. The Lord is not going to give you forever to overcome your sins, man. Especially those chief sins that you're dealing with. This may be the last day to get rid of your lust demon, man, before you get sifted out. Or that slothful spirit. For the Most High say, all right, I'm done with this guy. Let me just send him slowly back into the world. Let me take the spirit away from him. Today might be your last day, man, to stop playing around and actually read. And say, oh, I don't want to read today. Well, brother, if you don't read today, you're never going to want to read. And the Most High is going to, for lack of better terms, you're going to become disenchanted, man, with this truth. Right? And you're going to slowly fall away. And you're going to slowly become weary. And this truth is going to become a chore to you. Right? Nobody likes chores. And the truth is going to feel like a burden, man. Like it's just something you have to do, not that you want to do. And you're going to quit this truth like you quit a job, man. Because the truth is going to feel like a job. You know how, Jake, you get a job and you hate your supervisor and you hate the pay and the hours and you just quit, man. I'm done. You used to be excited, man, about your interview. Okay, I can't wait to start this job. Man, there's money coming in. I could pay this off. I could pay that off. But then you become disenchanted, man. Now you showing up late. You know, you stop really performing at a high level. You're taking longer breaks. You're finding shortcuts to get the job done. You're doing a half job half the time. You're not doing your reports. You know, you don't know anything about your position. You're not growing. Guess what? You will be fired. I guarantee either two things are going to happen. Either you're going to quit that job or you're going to be fired. And that's how it is in this truth, man. It's either you're going to quit or be fired. If you have that mentality, then it's only a matter of time. And these supervisors know when you're about to get fired, man. They're talking about you, right? In their morning meetings, their morning briefs, right? They're sitting up there and you're the topic of discussion, right? You're literally the topic of discussion. Let's go to Ephesians chapter 4:1. I'm going to go back to this. And they're talking about all their employees. And they're saying, well, look, we have this employee, Jamal. He's showing up late. They're looking at your time card. Because they'll pull that stuff up, man. A lot of people think you keep clocking out late, clocking in early, whatever, still in time. They'll start pulling up your time card. Yeah, he keeps showing up late. 10 minutes here, 15 minutes here, 20 minutes here, 30 minutes here. We're going to have to get rid of this guy. And all the guys are in the meeting talking about getting rid of you. And that's what happens in his truth, man. The Most High's up there in the spirit world. Okay, well, he's not studying today. He still hasn't read. He's still not praying. It's been 3 weeks. He haven't went on a fast. He's been in the truth for 3 years. He's still dealing with the same sin. He's still dealing with masturbation, pornography. Still smoking blacks. Still hasn't congregated yet. Get rid of this guy. Ephesians chapter 4:1. And the Lord has those conversations. He said, get this demon, send a demon on him, man. Give him a reprobate mind. Ephesians 4:1. I, therefore, the prisoner of the Lord, beseech you that ye walk worthy of the vocation wherewith ye are called. Right? So what is a vocation? Let's put this up. Slovakia. Vocation. It reads a strong feeling or suitability for a particular career or occupation. So it's really a job, a calling, life's work, mission, purpose, function, a person's employment or a main occupation, especially regarded as particularly worthy and requiring great dedication. So the Most High said, walk worthy of the vocation wherewith ye are called. And what is your occupation you were called in? To be a servant of the Most High. You were called to serve the Lord. The Most High didn't call you to be slothful and to not pray. Hey, every job has job requirements. And you know that. You know, you work for damn Burger King, you know the job expectations, man. You know you have to flip 10 burgers an hour. You know that. Hey, you got to clean that bathroom, man. You know, somebody went in there, they did thing. Hey, you got to clean it, man. You got to take that big scrapey thing and scrape off all of the human meat and the pork off the damn grill, man. You got to go up and say, they may say, look, we need you to be a cashier today. You have to learn how to deal with the customers, how to take your order. Okay, you press this button, this opens up the cash register. Okay, you give them the receipt, you ask them. So you have to know these things. Now, if you could show up to Burger King and you're in the back on your phone or doing whatever they do in Burger King, you're taking a lot of bathroom breaks, you're showing up late, you're going to get fired because you're not fulfilling your job responsibilities. And you have responsibilities in this truth. You have to pray, study, keep the commandments, read, fast, be diligent, love your brother, not be slothful. You have a lot to do, man. And you have to walk worthy of the vocation ye are called. If you're not walking worthy, again, it's only a matter of time for you lose this job. Right? You're going to lose your occupation. And when people get fired from jobs, they don't cry. Never been at a job when somebody got fired and they take a moment of silence. So everybody starts crying. People move on, man. They might say, what happened to so-and-so? Yeah, what happened to Jamal? He used to be the cashier. What? I haven't seen him in a while. And then the supervisor said, okay, look, well, Jamal, we have to let him go, do the person. They'll give you something political, right? Do the company policy. We have to let Jamal go. And those guys still miss Jamal for about a day, 2 days, 3 days. But eventually they move on, man. Because they replaced Jamal with damn James, man. And nobody's thinking about Jamal anymore. And that's how it is with you brothers that fall out, man. Right? The Most High doesn't regard you anymore. You're just missile food, waiting to be destroyed. Right? You're just a ticking time bomb. Because you didn't walk worthy of the vocation wherein ye were called. Right? You decided to go off, deal with lust and all manner of sin. Right? Let's go to John chapter 12. Right? Let's go to John, the 12th chapter. This is John chapter 12 and verse, 3. Then took Mary a pound of ointment of spikenard, very costly, and anointed the feet of Yahushua and wiped his feet with her hair. And the house was filled with the odor of the ointment. Then saith one of his disciples, Judas Iscariot, Simon's son, which should betray him, why was not this ointment sold for 300 pence and given to the poor? This he said, not that he carried the poor, but because he was a thief and had the bag and bear what was put therein. So he was their treasurer. Now he was a thief, Judas Iscariot. Now, why was Judas sifted out? Well, ultimately he was set up from the foundation of the world. He was chosen to betray Yahweh Shai. But on a lower level, this sin of him being a thief, covetousness, lust. Because when you're a thief, you have that. You have a covetous spirit. When you're a thief, you're lusting, right? When you're a thief, you're stealing, of course. So you have these different, you're proud. You have whatever you're stealing, that's your God, that's your idol. So you have these many demons on Judas Iscariot. So what happened to him? Well, he didn't check that demon. Satan hopped on him, right? Let's get that in John 13. John chapter 13 and verse, let's see. John 13 and 23. I'll start at 23. Now there was leaning on Judas' bosom one of his disciples whom Yahweh shall love, right? That's John, the apostle. Simon Peter therefore beckoned to him that he should ask who it is, who it should be, Salakia, of whom he spake. So Peter was like, hey, go ahead. Ask him who's going to betray you. He then, lying on Yahweh Shai's breast, said unto him, Lord, who is it? So who's going to betray you? Yahweh Shai answered, he it is to whom I shall give a sop when I have dipped it. And when he had dipped the sop, he gave it to Judas Iscariot, the son of Simon. And after the sop, Satan entered into him. Then said Yahweh Shai unto him, that thou doest, do quickly. So Judas was a thief, lust, covetousness, proud, stumbling blocks, idols. And he was the perfect target for the spiritual demon Satan. This is why Satan enters into you, brothers, man, and leads you to do things contrary to the law. Because you have these sins. You have these demons. And you become a vessel fit for Satan. Loves a thief. Right? You know, thieves, they'll start off as thieves, but they'll commit murder. They'll shoot somebody. You know, they'll kidnap somebody. And they might be into damn trafficking or whatever. And they slowly wax worse, man. So Satan hopped on Judas Iscariot because Judas Iscariot refused to overcome and deal with those demons. The same way that he hopped on King Saul. Let's go to 1 Samuel, the 16th chapter. Right? 1 Samuel chapter 16. This is 1 Samuel chapter 16 and verse 14. But the evil spirit of the Lord departed from Saul. But the spirit of the Lord departed from Saul, and an evil spirit from Yahweh troubled him. And Saul's servant said unto him, behold, now an evil spirit from the Most High troubleth thee. So the Most High could take away the righteous spirit from you and give you an evil spirit. And why did this happen to Saul? On the low level, ultimately because he was negligent of the law, disobedient, proud, wanting to do his own thing. So the Most High said, all right, you want to do your own thing? All right, I'm going to take my Holy Spirit from you and give you an evil spirit. And this happens to brothers that fall out. They used to have a righteous spirit, holy and right seed. Now they become degenerate plant of a strange vine. And you don't, and it's a fearful thing, man, to be in this truth. Then you have an evil spirit and you hate the truth now. Now you hate Israelite videos. You used to binge watch them. Now you can't stand the sound of the scriptures. That's an evil spirit, man. Used to come to camp diligent, do the work. Now you kind of barely show up, man. You're barely around. That's an evil spirit. Now you have 1,000 excuses on why you can't put a hair wrap and a dress on. So the Most High will do that. He did it to Judas Iscariot. He did it to King Saul. He does it all throughout the Bible. He'll take the righteous spirit from you and give you an evil spirit. And really, once that evil spirit is on you, if the Most High don't want it to leave, then it's definitely not going to leave. If the Most High wanted to stay, then it's going to stay, man. Right? So let's move on. Let's go to the book. Right? It's like here. Genesis, the 4th chapter. Right? Oh, I wanted Revelation, the 2nd chapter. Salakia. Let's go to Revelation chapter 2. Right? This is Revelation chapter 2. So you brothers and sisters, examine yourself, man. Don't you know all hell is about to break loose? You have back-to-back, really, I believe it's 3 days of blood moons. All right, let me pull this up real quick. Right? Blood moons 2022. Hold on, let me see. See, and nobody's really talking about, when I say nobody, I'm speaking about Esau's news and his people. They're not really talking about this blood moon back to back. Look at this. Breathtaking photos of July's buck supermoon. Because you had a supermoon the day before the nationwide fast. Then it turned to a blood moon. Then you had 2 days back-to-back blood moons. Which is what? A sign of judgment on the earth. They're already talking about assassinating Trump. They're already talking about assassinating Pompeo. World leaders and world governments are stumbling and falling before our eyes, man. NATO is at a sense of disarray and derision. You can see the Western powers and Rome falling. See if I can get that picture. Right? Look at this. According to conspiracy theories put forward by very French Christian groups, what does that mean? Very French. A blood moon heralds the onset of the apocalypse. It is based on the Bible line, right? The sun will turn into darkness and the moon into blood for the great and terrible day of the Lord comes. And this is right after a nationwide fast. And they got that right. The blood moon heralds the onset of the apocalypse, of the end of the world, right? And again, I thought they were going to show an image, right? We posted images in time past yesterday, man. We're out there at camp, all hell breaks loose, and the blood moon comes up out of nowhere. Literally, it just pops up, and it was dark red. I've never seen a moon like that since I've been in the truth. I've seen plenty of blood moons, but that blood moon was, I mean, dark red. And the people at the harbor, they were just walking by, not paying it any mind. They didn't know what was going on. They were just going about smoking their weed, getting drunk. They probably pointed to it and blew some blunt smoke at it. And, you know, you had the Nigga Olympics yesterday. They were doing the Nigga Olympics on the wheelies with the bikes. You had loud black women. You had madness. Madness going on. And in the midst of the madness, Salakia, you had a blood moon. Right? So let me pull this up. Like I said, we posted it. If you haven't seen it, see that the brother said, T Sellers, I was sitting on the land and I could reach out and touch it, man. The brother's in Japan right now, and it was like clotted blood. It's absolutely right. All right, so it's like, I don't know what this is taking all day. All right, let's see. Blood moon. See if we can get an image on that. Dark red. Now, if there's another blood moon, now I thought, and I could be wrong, I thought only blood moons happen during eclipses. Right? Now, Esau, I could be wrong. I'm not an astronomist, right? But they said a lunar eclipse will only be on the May 16th and November 8th. But I believe blood moons, I believe they only come, it's like during eclipses. My voice is gone. But you had a blood moon on a day where Esau really didn't schedule. He didn't see that eclipse. He just called it a buck moon. Right? Now, when you go into The blood moon is a sign of the times, right? A sign of the times. Now, if there's another blood moon today, then I mean that would be a severe, look at this, sign of the last days. And we're praying that things kick off, man. Right? We're praying that things kick off. See, the moon yesterday was darker than all these moons. Trying to find this is what the moon looked like yesterday. Dark blood red. And this is the moon from yesterday. So this is probably the most darkest, reddest moon that we've seen in some time. Right? Now, let me pull this precept in Revelation, the 2nd chapter. So now that you know you have blood moons, you have judgments on the earth, you have World War III that could kick off any second. Look at this. This is the blood moon, man. Now, I can't remember what skyline. It looked like Baltimore. You know? Let me see. They don't have a caption. I don't know what city that is. Let's see. I'm not going to go into the buck moon and why Esau calls it a buck moon. Right? But here's exactly how the moon looked yesterday for brothers that didn't see it. Right? Brothers that didn't watch or didn't see it. This is exactly what it looked like. And there's nothing to play around about, man. That's a sign of bloodshed and judgment on the earth. It's not something for you to, eat cotton candy about, man. It's a sign of repentance. I think that's New York, man. Right? Praying for mercy, praying for forgiveness, and returning back to the Most High. That's what this blood moon is about. Right after a nationwide fast, and the Lord said, in Ecclesiasticus, the 36th chapter, they will show new signs and make other strange wonders. And this is a prayer for the destruction of your enemy. Sirach 36, 1 on down to around 17. Right? Sirach chapter 36 and 7, 36 and 6. Show new signs and make other strange wonders. Glorify thy hand and thy right arm that they may set forth thy wondrous works. And the Most High is showing signs. And there's been a lot of signs in the sun and the moon lately, too, in the sky. I'm not able to pull up all of the different things that I've been seeing, but people have been seeing all types of lights and rays of lights, and one looked like portals and chariots. There's been a lot of strange sights within the sky. And the sky was dark yellow. This was about a few days ago, man. Like 10 minutes before the sun went down, we looked outside and the sky was just completely yellow. And people trying to figure out what's going on. The sun, it was just dark, but these are the things that you should expect to see in these days, man. And knowing that you live in such a time, you don't have time. Like I was telling the brothers yesterday, you got to leave it all on the table, man. Right? I mean, there's not another chance to push this truth and do this work. You got it in this life and this life only, man. It's not as if, okay, there's another captivity, you're going to be regenerated and come back again and you'll find. No, you have to get it now. Because once all hell break loose, that's it. If you don't get right now, you'll never get right, man. If you still refuse to put your hand to the plow and study and pray and fast and read and become diligent, then why are you even in this thing, man? You might as well do the Most High a job and just leave, man. Help the Most High out, and before you get sifted out, just get out of here, man, and go back in the world if you're not going to be on fire. If you're not going to be diligent, just go back and do God knows what you were doing prior to coming into this truth, man, because the Lord can't use you. The Lord is looking for men and women who are here to magnify his name, to be an example. Only the diligent are going to make it, man. The Lord said in Proverbs 22 that they're going to stand before kings. Right? Proverbs chapter 22. Right? This Proverbs chapter 22, and I believe I want 29. Right? It reads, seest thou a man diligent in his business? He shall stand before kings. He shall not stand before mean men. So if you see a man diligent in his business, he's going to be associated and elevated and promoted, and he's going to be with kings, man. Mean men are men of the world. Doesn't mean mean as in you don't want to share your cookies, right? Mean is more of an archaic term that means base men. It means base. It means low-level guys. Men of the world on the deepest level. These kings is the elect. And you want to ask yourself, are you diligent in your business? Are you grinding? Are you working overtime? Those are the businesses, even of the world, that succeed, man. Those guys that start a business in a garage, and then they'll move into a warehouse, and then they'll have a damn 5 employees and 500 employees, and they're diligent in their business, man. They're reading books on how to be a master entrepreneur, right? They're studying finances. They're going back to school and taking classes to learn how to operate a company. They get the right legal advisors or financial advisors, and they're grinding. They don't get no sleep, and they end up being those top companies, man. And you brothers, if you're diligent in your business, you're going to stand before kings. Who's the ultimate king? Yahweh Shai. And if you're not diligent in your business, you're going to stand before mean men. You're going to be with these men of the world. So you need to be diligent in this thing. Revelation 2 and 4. Nevertheless, I have somewhat against thee, because thou hast left thy first love. And brothers, leave your first love. You know that you left your first love too. I don't even have to use the same examples I always use. You know that you don't read how you used to read. Your first love is that zeal and fire you had when you first found out that you were an Israelite. Every brother, just sit back and remember what it was like when you first clicked on that video, when you first got your fringes, when you first got your Bible in the mail, when you finally got your Apocrypha, when your beard start coming in, when you start writing your first precepts out, when you was watching video after video after video after video. That's when you was in love with this thing. Some people, I know, they locked themselves in a room. They were on Facebook telling everybody and their cousin and their mother that they're Israelites, arguing with people on Twitter, burning on damn Instagram, letting everybody know who we are, telling people at the bus stop, starting arguments with your family because you were just in love, blinded in love. You used to read all the time, take notes, have a schedule. Now you don't do any of those things, man. And the Lord says that's against you. The Lord is not dealing with that. He has somewhat against thee because you left your first love. And you have to rekindle that flame again, man. Like these marriages that grow stale. People are married 50 years and, they don't even, they're not intimate. They live in different rooms. One guy, the guy, he may have a man cave. He's always in his man cave. And a woman, she's always upstairs. And they don't even talk anymore, man. I was seeing this TikTok about relationships and marriage, and they were going to they were joking, but they were going into how when you marry, okay, first day of marriage, the guy, he was flirting with his woman, sporting with his wife. Then 5 years later, he kind of doing it. Then 10 years later, he ignoring her. Then 15 years later, she's trying to force him to love her, and the marriage just grows stale. And if you don't know how to rekindle that fire and that flame, then you'll never find love all over again. They make songs like that, man. Falling in love all over again. I found my love. I fell out of love. I mean, they're listen to damn Jodeci, man. Listen to how they love these women, man. These guys are so you listen to some of these songs, these lyrics are so damn off, man. They're simping out and doing all types of lewdness just to get love from a woman. And Jake, that's how I used to be, man. I used to make bad decisions, do things, whatever, just to get love from the Most High, just to find out that you're an Israelite, man. And if you left your first love, you better rekindle that flame. You better find out what caused you to lose your first love. Do a video called First Love. Right? Remember, therefore, from whence thou art fallen. So you got to see how you fell. That's why people go to marriage counsels. Right? Our marriage is not the same. He doesn't even touch me anymore. That's what women be saying. He doesn't even look at me. You're looking at all these young women. He doesn't be intimate with me anymore. He's getting fat. He spends all day in the basement working on a garage or working on his projects. You know? And you sit before a marriage counselor and they say, well, okay, well, what happened? Where did it all start? And you got to get that. That marriage counselor's job is to bring you back together, man. And you brothers, you got to be brought back together with this first love. Now, the Lord said, remember from whence thou art fallen. So what caused you to fall? And repent and do the first works. So in order to receive your first love, you have to do your first works. Your first works is what? That zeal and fire you had when you first came into truth. Or else, if you don't do that, I will come unto thee quickly and will remove thy candlestick out of his place, except thou repent. And when the Lord take your candlestick away, that's some removing the Holy Spirit. That's some sifting you out, putting you back in the world. So be mindful of that, man. The Most High will remove your candlestick from you. And you see brothers' flame flickering, and then the Most High just, you wake up in the morning, and now you can't remember any precepts. Now you barely don't want it. Now you're coming up with excuses not to do the work. Because that's the Most High blew away your candlestick. Right? Let's go to Judges. One of my favorite accounts of a man's candlestick being blown out. Huh? Right? This is Judges chapter 16. And verse 17. That he told her to Samson, he told Delilah his heart, right? And revealed his weakness. Or he revealed where he got his strength from, rather. That he told her all his heart and said unto her, there hath not come a razor upon my head, for I have been a Nazarite unto God from my mother's womb. If I be shaven, then my strength will go from me, and I shall become weak and be like any other man. So he set her up as an idol. And when Delilah saw that he had told her all his heart, because Eve know when you told him their heart, man, right? Or woman in general. She sent and called for the lords of the Philistines, saying, come up this once, for he hath showed me all his heart. Then the lords of the Philistines came up unto her and brought money in their hand. And she made him sleep upon her knees, and she called for a man. And she caused him to shave off the 7 locks of his head, and she began to afflict him, and his strength went from him. And she said, the Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And he awoke out of his sleep and said, I will go out as at other times before and shake myself. And what? And he wist not that the Lord was departed from him. So a lot of brothers don't know the Most High left you, man. Think you're going to go out and be mighty at camp or be mighty doing the work. The Lord left you, brother. Samson didn't even know that the Lord left him. He still thought that he had the same strength that he had before. He still thought that maybe he could take out the Philistines like he used to do with ease. It got so bad that he thought that the Lord was with him, and he didn't even know. It says he wist not that the Lord was departed from him. And that's a fearful thing. Because you don't know if the Lord left you, man. Because sometimes you could be waxing worse and waxing worse. It could be like a tire running out of air. It takes time. or a flame to go out. It takes time. You'll see that air pressure slowly get down, then get down, then get down, and then it's out. And that's how brothers are. They slowly become slothful. They slowly stop reading, they stop studying, they stop doing the work, and now they're just they're running out of air. A lot of brothers, you're running out of steam. You're running out of gas. A lot of sisters, you're running out of gas. This thing is not a sprint; it's a marathon. You're supposed to pace yourself in this thing, man. And keep the kingdom in your forefront, man. Understanding what the will of the Lord is. So you don't want to be in this predicament where you try to do the work of the Most High. You don't even know that the Lord left you. But the Philistines took him and put out his eyes and brought him down to Gaza and bound him with fetters of brass, and he did grind in a prison house. See that? Now, eventually his hair started growing again and his vow was renewed. But at the end of the day, he died, man, because he gave his strength unto a woman. He lost that first love, and the Lord departed from him. And the Lord don't have to leave you a notice. He don't have to say, all right, well, I'm thinking about departing from you. Here's a sticky note. I left you at 5 a.m. The Lord don't give you no notice. He's not the landlord. He just leaves, man. You don't have to explain nothing to you. You have your chance to get right now. The Lord don't owe you an explanation. You should know better, because you have the Bible, you have the commandments, you have these witnesses, these accounts, these lessons about what to do to get back on fire, man. Right? Let's go to the book of 2 Timothy. Right? Let's go to, I believe, I want 2 Timothy 1:6. Right? Let's go to 2 Timothy, chapter 1. Slakia. 2 Timothy chapter 1:6. I want to get this account. Right, so this is 2 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 6. It reads, wherefore I put thee in remembrance that thou stir up the gift of God which is in thee by the putting on of my hands. So brothers, you got to stir up that gift, man. If that fire and that flame is going out, you need to stir it back up. Right, meaning pray for zeal. Pray that the Most High show you what your gift is. Pray for that fire that's burning. You understand? Pray for the Spirit, for the Lord to remove that slothful demon from you, to remove the cares of the world, have the spirit of focus, temperance. These are the things brothers should be praying for, reading for, and working towards, man, in these last days. And if you don't stir up that gift, the Most High is going to take that gift from you and give it to the next man. Right? He's going to take that gift from you, and eventually, like I tell you in Luke chapter 19, get from him to have 5 pounds to him to have 10 pounds, paraphrasing. All right, for him to have 1 pound to him to have 10 pounds. Luke chapter 19 and 24. And he said unto them that stood by, take from him the pound and give it to him that had 10 pounds. And they said unto him, Lord, he hath 10 pounds. So the Most High could take away this understanding from you and give it to a brother that's on fire. Now that brother's waxing strong and you're waxing worse. So ask yourself again, like I said, I didn't want this to be too long. The Cold Cuts channel is down. It should be back up and running. Lord willing, it should be back up and running if we get that appeal. If not, it'll be down for 2 weeks. So look out for lives on the backup channel. Look out for lives on the IG. Maybe the main channel, we may go live more often. But Cold Cuts channel is down. Most High, when you're edified, keep the Sabbath holy. No buying on the Sabbath, no sex, no selling, no lewd speech, doing your own words, speaking your own mind, and no profanation of the Lord's day. It's a holy convocation. With that, giving our honor and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yabushai. Most High, when you're edified, Kwame Yashala, Shalom.